Hello students, my name is Mrs. Fritz and today I'm going to be helping you learn how to do your D-string worksheet page in your book. Okay, so you need to get out your book and you need to turn to page 17. Okay, page 17 looks like this. It says D-string worksheet at the top and it says page 17 at the bottom. Okay, you're going to need a pencil to do this. So go ahead and get your book and your pencil and get ready to work. Okay, I am going to share my screen right now so you guys can see what I see. I'm going to help you. Okay, so here's our D-string worksheet page. Get your pencil. Okay, and the first thing I want you guys to notice, this is the violin one. I will show you all the different instruments at different times today, but you can still learn it from looking at different ones. Guys, the first thing you're going to see is in this beginning square is what each note is. Now some of these are familiar. You can see this is the D0. You already know that one. That one is very easy for you. Okay, and here I'm going to switch really quick. Here's the viola page. You have an alto clef right here, and here's your notes. Same thing. Okay, here's a cello page, and here's your notes. The same exact thing. Okay, and last, here's the bass. Same notes that you already have learned. They're D0 right there. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the violin and we're going to look at this a little bit closer. Now guys, when you're learning notes, the important thing you need to realize is it doesn't matter what the note looks like. Doesn't matter. You can see right here in this first line, we see lots of different notes. We see notes that we're used to seeing that have a stem and are filled in. We see half notes that are not filled in, but they have a stem. We see whole notes that are empty in the middle, and we see eighth notes. Okay, but if you guys notice, look at this first line on your book, whatever instrument you are, the circle of the note stays in the same place. Okay, that means for this whole first line, that is going to be the same note. And I bet you guys know exactly what it is. You've already realized, maybe you're already writing it in. It's D0 all the way across. And you guys might think, why am I having to write D0 20 times? Well, it's to get it really good in your head that this is D0 no matter what it looks like. Okay? Doesn't matter if it why is it doing that? There we go. Doesn't matter if it looks like a whole note or a half note or a quarter note. It matters where the circle of the note is. Okay? So just the same for violas. Your whole first line is D0. Go ahead and fill that in right now. Cellos, same thing. You can see the circle of your note is in the same place. Okay, basses also. Okay, now we're going to look at the second line, measure 7. You guys can see right here it says measure 7 on the second line. Oh, wow, we look at this note and we see it is not the same as our D0, right? This one is different. Now look, I want you to look at this note, look at where the circle is, and compare it to these notes up here. Can you tell which one it is? Think about it. That's right, it's E1. You're going to write E1. Now, why do we write the 1? Well, you maybe have learned this in your class. Maybe you haven't learned it yet. But that's what finger you are going to use to play this note. Okay, so you're going to follow. I'm going to show you really quick here. Look right here. The violas are exactly the same right here. Okay, E1 starting right there. Cellos, oh, your page is a little bit different. Let me move it here. Oopsie daisy. Okay, E1 is gonna be right there. E1, same for you, okay? And here's also the basses. Basses, your E1 starts on the second line, just like the violins and violas. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the violin. I want you guys to see. I want you to follow along. You're probably writing in all your E1s right now. I want you to follow along. Wait a second. These are all E1s. And then we get to, oh, here's a new note. The note changed. Okay, look at this note. Look at where the circle is. Okay, and look up here and figure out which one it is. Oh, you can see this is F2. Now you guys can write F sharp. That's what this little thing means. Your teacher's going to explain that to you. Okay, you can write F sharp for the first one, but you don't have to write it for every single one. That's a lot of work. Okay, a lot of writing. As long as you know that it's F sharp. Here's the viola page. Same thing. Here's the cello page. And here's the bass page. Okay, now guys, there's a couple tricky things I want to show you on this before I let you do it all by yourself. So keep paying attention. Okay, I'm going to scroll down on the violin page. Okay, you can see right here it switches notes again to G. Okay, but when you get a little further down, it's going to start mixing up the notes, right? And you're going to have to pay more attention to what note you're putting in. Okay, it gets more and more notes here. Now wait, you're going to get to this note right here. Okay, this is, look, on the line that says 25. You're going to be going along just fine, and all of a sudden you're going to get to this note. And you're going to say, that note is not one of the notes at the top of the page. I don't know that note. Okay, but then you're going to look at it a little bit closer. And you're going to notice that it is a note that you do know. It's one of your open string notes. That's right. If you're a violin player and you're looking at this, you have realized that that is A0. A open. That is your A open string. Now let's give a chance for our violas and cellos to see that one. Violas and cellos, when you go to number 25, you will see right there you have the same note. You have an A0. There's violas. Okay, A0 right there. Okay, now while we're here, violas, I want you to look and see. Look at these notes going, oh, here's another one. This is a note that's not at the top of your page. You cannot look at it. I bet you've already guessed what it is. That's right. It's G0. Okay, and then if you keep looking, violas, oh, there's another one you might not know. That's right. That one is C0. You do know this note. Oh, good. Okay, now that we've cleared that up, let's go over to the cellos. Okay, cellos, same thing. Down on measure 25. If you're a cello, okay, you can see right here, if you go along, oh, here we get to it. This is our A0. That's right. And then cellos, same thing right here. You can find your G0. And cellos, you can see right here, we have our C0. Okay, violins and basses, in the same place on these worksheets, you have your G0 and your E0 and your D and A zeros. So even though this worksheet only has the D string notes at the top, down at the bottom it kind of tests you to see if you remember your open string notes that you've been practicing so far this year. And I think that those are the main things that you guys need to remember. I'm going to check and see if the bass has anything tricky on it. Okay guys, the last thing I want you guys to notice is down here we get some rests added in here. You just ignore those. It's testing you to see if you really know that it only matters where the circle of the note goes. Now guys, there's one more thing. When you get to about the middle of this page, maybe just say when you get to measure 37, okay, you should be learning those notes really well by then. So what I want you to try and do is cover up the answers at the top of the page and do the bottom half of the page without looking at the answers. And then you can check yourself and see if you've learned your D string notes. Good job, you guys. Good job.